Our mission is to monitor and report to the Board of Education the district's compliance to the master facility plan is funded by a variety of sources, including but not limited to the statewide school option sales tax and the physical plant and equipment levy. The committee will oversee the district's commitment to use $40 million in silo funds for property tax relief. The committee will provide counsel to the district administration to help promote within the Cedar Rapids community district activities related to this charter wherever possible. Our commitment, we will represent to the community to ensure funds are invested as intended. Monitor projects to ensure they are completed on time and on budget. To provide recommendations and assurance that we'll keep our schools progressive learning environments that are all aligned with the current advancements in education. This process started well before the Bond Oversight Committee was in place. It started in 1996 with the Facilities Study Group, and some of the board members here served on that committee as well. And the purpose of that group was to define the projects for the original silo vote, which ultimately failed. The Oversight Committee promise was instrumental in the passage of the bond vote and the second silo vote. The community values the oversight promise, and I think the district values the trust that our community has shown in the oversight process. This is a current list of the committee members serving now. There have been many more in the previous 10 years of the oversight group. And since 2013, we've had about an 82% participation rate in our committee meetings with a wide variety of people matching all their schedules and during the summer vacations and all that. I thought that was pretty good. There's a huge pool of talent in the committee. They're subject matter experts at their businesses, who they work for, and the talent and the diversity that they bring to our committee has been our strength. We're currently beginning to work soon with our fourth superintendent since it started in 1996. And they all have or will be invaluable to the process. The projects live past the people, and everyone adds to the expertise and vision. Some of the key accomplishments have been the community confidence in the oversight process. We met the original promise of a 10-year schedule. We planned and took advantage of the market conditions, resulted in savings, and these savings allowed these extra projects that were not in the original 10-year plan. Some of the other accomplishments have been the benefits of the geothermal units that we placed in many of our older schools. It enhanced the learning environments, and the ongoing fiscal savings have been, I'm sure, very helpful to the budget. The positive student impact from all the different projects, keeping up with the changing learning environment, and they create a positive student experience, whether it be temperature in the classrooms, the new IMCs, the new cafeterias. The planning process it included end users and teachers and all levels of staff, as well as Shive Hattery should really get a tip of the hat. They did an outstanding job of helping us plan the projects and help us organize things to stay on task. Ask a teacher or a student how they've been impacted by these projects. I believe you will be amazed at their answers. We have been when we visit the project sites. It has been an integral part of our oversight function to have our meetings on some of the project sites, and at times to get to speak to some of the end users. So hopefully we can continue that in the future. Some of the key accomplishments that some of the committee members have brought about were very instrumental, particularly in the funding mechanisms. We had one committee member, his name Lindsay Schumacher, was very, helped Steve and save money through the issuance of some bonds and things. And it really saved money so we could get some of these additional projects. The committee had a lot of input on the Kingston Stadium projects, the cafeterias. Geothermal early on was a long and hard discussion, but I think in the end it was very important. It helped build this building. Some of our members served on the oversight on the building also here. The various talents and expertise of the committee members was innovative in allowing additional projects to be completed. Two members who played a key part in the forward thinking, as I said, Lindsay was very instrumental, but Emmett Sherman was just, nobody can hold a candle to Emmett. So anytime you see him, give him a pat on the back and thank him for a job well done. We just recently celebrated the 100th anniversary of these two schools, Arthur and Garfield. 100 years ago, people like us had the vision to invest in buildings like this, and they're still standing and we're still using them today. And they continued that process with investments in buildings like Franklin and McKinley, Roosevelt and Wilson, who we're still using today. Our challenge, who will look back on us and say what I've just said about those people? Because it's not me, it's not the members on the committee, it's you and you and you. It's all of us. Today we're planning for what a classroom needs to be today. What does a classroom need to look like in 10 years? Think of all the changes in the last 10 years since we've started this process. Our challenge is, what does a classroom need to be for the next 50 or 75 or 100 years? Because that's what we should be planning for now. Our ancestors did. It is time for us to be the next visionaries. And the district has to keep on telling that story to the Cedar Rapids Community District, not just the school district. After all, it's about the future generations of our kids. I truly believe that we have been good stewards and that we are up to this challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Comments, questions from the board? Ann?
That was a really fun report.
Thank you. It's important. It tells a story, just like we do every day in our classrooms, I'm sure.
And it's fun and it's so important. Again, I'll say it, on all of the board-appointed committees, we rely on the expertise and the talent in our community to help us make good decisions. We appreciate all of your time that you spend. You all work full-time, so we understand it's a commitment. But it's particularly this committee has worked so hard over the years. I served on it long before I was on the board.
In the Wayback Machine.
Ann was instrumental as a board member when we went for that bond issue. So, and you're right, we have to think about the future generation of our kids and what that classroom and what that building's going to look like to maximize the learning opportunities. So, the other thing I like that you said is that you're starting to have some on-site meetings where a lot of these projects are.
We have had.
And I know it's hard to arrange that, and there's some logistics concerned with that, but it's good for you to be out and see.
Yes, it is. It's very important.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yep.
So thank all of you for your time. Gary?
Just as you were talking, something that rolled through my head was I was at the Arthur 100-year celebration, and they talked about when that was built, and you talked about the foresight of our forefathers, that there was a lot of criticism. That was out in the country at that time.
Yeah, imagine that.
And there were people saying, what are we doing? What are you building? This school,
Yep.
out there. And so it takes courage, it takes people committed and persistence, and can't say enough about your committee and the people in Cedar Rapids, their commitment to the education, the public education in this community.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Yep.
You know, they said the same thing about Viola Gibson. when they
Yeah.
cited that
Yeah,
location.
look at
What are
that
you
now.
doing way out here that
Right.
you're making a bad
We-
decision?
Remember when we turned the shovel out
Yeah.
there, and you could see it from Blairsville Road, I mean, it was bare all the way in now.
That's the
You
Iowa
gotta-
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
You gotta drive a block and a half to just see the school now,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well, just to finish what I was thinking, and the words kind of came to me now. But we have our name tags up here, and on the back it says, how will this decision impact students? And a lot of times when people think about a building project, they think it's really just the administrators wanting to do bigger and better because we want to do bigger and better. And it's really not. It really is all about the kids. And that's
Right.
what I appreciate in your report is because you keep bringing it back to how all these things, the air conditioning, the windows, the school building, the cafeteria, all that impacts students and
And their
how they
learning.
learn. Yep. So thank you.